Here's my DIY on how to reupholster my doors on my 1996 Subaru Impreza. Here's the tools you need: a razor blade from the dollar store, a plastic tool, and 3M spray adhesive. So here's my door. I initially did this project 3 years ago. It's faded, it was peeling off, now it's time to redo it. I use the tool to stick in the tape into the crevice to really make sure it gets in there. And here's me masking the door to make sure that the where I'm not going to be sticking the fabric in is not going to get all the spray adhesive on it. I covered it more protection with some newspaper, and here's me test fitting the fabric. I actually got this fabric from Joann's. That's in red Alcantara. I got 3 yards for $8 and spray adhesive for $6. So I'm really doing this entire project for about $15. So test fit it. Once you test fit it, you can start spraying your spray adhesive. And once you spray your spray adhesive, you're going to want to do half by half. And here's me doing the first half. Go on there, stretch out the fabric, and make sure there's no wrinkles. You're going to have some time because it takes about 30 minutes for the adhesive to dry. So you're going to be able to take it on and off, making sure there's no wrinkles. Make sure you do the armrest first, or all the biggest creases on your door panels. Just gotta keep stretching it out, make sure there's no wrinkles. Like I said, make sure you do the armrest or whatever the biggest creases are on your armrest, because those are gonna be where you need the little slack. And here's me pressing it in now with the plastic tool. I pull the fabric up to make sure that I get the most excess of it, and then push it right in. Sometimes when it's too hard, I like to use a key or something metal, something a little harder than the plastic, and really shove it in there. When I sprayed the spray adhesive, I really made sure I sprayed it within the crease, so there's a lot of adhesive. And kind of just going over it one more time all the way through, really making sure it's going in there before we start using the razor blade to cut through it. And the next step is going to be the razor blade. Alright, so here's the razor blade now. I just make the razor blade just as long as it needs to be. So I let the line just guide me through it. Press down with a little pressure, and it cuts the fabric real easy. I cut about 6 to 10 inches at a time to make sure that the actual part is sticking to the door panel, to the door insert. So I don't want to cut the entire thing and pull it off, just because if you pull it off, it might pull off the entire thing. So this is why I do 6 to 10 inches at a time. And this is me kind of just touching it up with the plastic tool, just really making sure that it's gonna in there for a long-lasting bond. And when you're cutting right here, so there's going to be a trim piece that goes over this. Make sure you leave a little bit extra, just so it looks better from the outside, and the trim piece goes over it, screws on. And here's the finished product. Just going to peel away, just make sure everything's good, and then start unmasking. Alright, and now the final step. Gonna be cutting the fabric to fit the another trim piece, plastic trim piece that's gonna go over it. Sometimes I start with an X from it and then kind of just push it in. And again, make sure there's a little excess so it folds right in. And here's the absolute complete product with the trim piece installed.